Your teams is one of the teams. Your team is one of the most excited team, and I am always very privileged to be part of your team. And I always get very, very inspired. You're some of the people when I look at and I say when I grow up. So thank you so much for just having me and hosting me this evening. Just a brief about myself for the people who are meeting me for the first time. My name is Margaret Amulavu. I am married to Charles, and between us we've got two. One is a full adult, another one a young adult. Our firstborn turns 30 years in October, and our younger one is 20 years. I tell people we are long distance runners. We are Kenyans. I mean, we run long distance in everything. Before this business of health and wellness, I worked for an international bank. And after working for this bank for 8.5 years, I chose to resign. I decided to be a stay-at-home mom because I had challenges in the office. I had chronic fatigue, and I would rest and I would never just recover. I didn't have time for my children. The earliest I got home was midnight. And my medical cover used to end up by June, and it was just finished, and they couldn't see what the problem was. So one day, when I'd left to work, our son at 3 years old, one day when I got home, he said, my mother does not come home. And it was true because I left the bank at a time of transition. We were moving from manual records to computer. And so the earliest I got home was midnight. They made it very comfortable, gave me a taxi to take me home. They bought supper for me, paid me more overtime than my salary. So really that job was difficult to leave. But I just thought our son at 3 years thinks his mother doesn't come home, and that really concerned me. And then the second thing is that I come from a very mixed background. My father is a Kenyan. My mother, I'm Malawian. Then I'm married to Charles, who comes from the western part of Kenya. And I just thought my in-laws would just think I was mixed up in my life as in my background. And so when I got a second child, I decided to resign. And so this opportunity found me at home in the house, and I was looking for something to do. And when I was invited, and like those of you who are on the call, I went for an in-person session, and I didn't understand much. Actually, I think I joined because of the testimonies. And I also joined because I really needed to do something and I had nothing to lose. The startup capital was low. And so I didn't have much to lose, and I just needed something to do. The long and short of it is that I've now been in the business for the last 25 years. It's amazing. I'm excited. In fact, right now I feel like a brand new person, and I'm just starting the business all over again. And I'm just so excited to just have done it for that long. I've benefited a lot because, like I said, when I left the bank, my son was then 5 years. He turns 30 in October. I don't have my second child. We lost her in a car accident. And that's also one of the reasons that I'm really, really passionate about this business, because the products, especially the healthcare products, really helped me when I lost the child. And I didn't go into depression. And actually, that's where my business started. And so I'm very delighted to be sharing with you this evening. So if you're new on the call or a new distributor, I want to tell you that you're on the right track. And I want to tell you probably this is the best decision you have ever made in your life. One of the things I think for me that is amazing is that I have no regrets at all. In fact, I know that leaving the bank was the best decision I ever made. And I don't regret having been in the bank because that's where I met Charles and we do the business together. He's been supportive. And one of the things that I thank God for him for is that when I decided to actually leave the job, we had just gotten our second child. We had a house loan, we had a car loan. Our son was going to school. The small baby was 6 months. And one day I decided, you know what, I'm going to leave this job. And I left without warning him. A normal man should have thrown me out, but he didn't. So I always thank God for him. So that is a little bit about me and the business. And so I'm very, very excited to be talking to you this evening. And today, Pia Rose and Josephat asked me to cover the cleaning products. And I just have such a passion for the products. And for me, my passion came from that I needed to do the business because I had now resigned from a bank job to take care of a child. And unfortunately, I lost that child 6 months down the line. So I really needed to do something. And then, of course, the idea of borrowing money from Charles, that for me was really, really not good because he met me in the bank. So I was already used to my own income. So after staying home for a year, I realized there's some decisions I could not just make because now it depended on whether he had money. In fact, I said it got so bad that you can't even do a surprise for this guy because, you know, men have this habit of asking just for money and he says what for. So I thought, now will I tell this guy that I'm doing a surprise? So it will not even be a surprise. So for me, New Life was an answer to prayer because I really told God two things. I want a business I can do from the house, and it should not be more than $15,000 or $150 for those of us who have an international, logging in from international, because that's all the money that I had, and not even in an account. I had it in a cooperative society. And so for me, it was an answer to prayer, though it didn't look like it was what I'd asked for, but it had the two qualities that I could work from home and that it was actually half that amount. And so that is how come I started off. And my passion was always in the cleaning products, because when I initially joined, I looked at the skincare products and I was a bit skeptical because I'd seen too many Kenyan women who are very dark at one point, and in a month they're so light, although there are some parts that don't change color, that like the knuckles and the knees. But you find somebody who was dark black, and in a few months they're light like no other. And then I'd seen people have kidney issues, they had cancer, and so I knew all skin products are dangerous. So I was not going to touch the skincare. Then the healthcare or the supplements looked like medicine. I was too young. I resigned before I was 30. I didn't have any health challenge, and they just looked like medicine. And I said, you know what, I'm not a doctor. And so I wasn't very keen on those two ranges. But the home care products were really, for me, the kickoff for me, because I liked the packaging, number one, and then they were so effective. When I tried them, I knew that the kind of products I could sell. And if the person had sold to called me, I wasn't worried that they're probably calling me to tell me that it didn't work. In fact, I was sure that they'll call me to tell me it worked and even give me a referral or even order more products. So one of the things about Neolife products is that they work, and as you sell them and use them, you are sure. So this evening, I want to talk to us about our cleaning products. And I think I'm going to cover 4 of them because I knew that the karaokes were doing recognition. And let me just share my screen at that point. And I think I'm just going to talk about 4 of them, because I think those are the major ones that you need to understand. And I want to tell you that once you understand our cleaning products, I want to tell you, you are on another level. Now, Neolife as a company is a great company. Started in the US in 1958. It's now doing 64 years. And I want to tell you, 64 years is quite some time. And we are on a mission to make the world a healthier and a happier place. And in East Africa, Neolife is now doing 26 years. So it came in 1996. And I joined a year after it coming to East Africa. So I actually feel very proud that I'm a pioneer of Neolife in East Africa. And one of the challenges we faced when we came to Neolife is that I didn't have a mentor. You know, today, the question is not if Neolife works. The question you should be asking yourself, if you will work the business. Because for me, I came in without a mentor. And one of the things I did, because I knew I must do the business, because now I'd resigned a bank job. I lost a child, the one who had made me leave the bank, and I was not good enough to go back for a job. And so one of the things I did very early in the business is that I committed time. I wake up as early as 4:30 to about 6 in the morning. And all I did was read about 3 products every single day without failing. And I would write notes. You know, sometimes people say that I'm very good with the products, but I want to tell you what I'm going to share with you. You actually have it in the literature that we all do have. The only thing I did is that I decided and made up my mind that I was going to be exceptional and that I was going to have to know about the products, because I knew that I must pass them on, first of all, for my own self to use them properly. And I just needed it so that I'm able to do a business. So if you don't have a mentor, you should not even be worried. But you guys are very fortunate. You not only have mentors, but you've got successful mentors. For us, our mentors were down South Africa. They would come once after 6 months. Phone calls were so expensive, we couldn't call them. So what you were taught is what you had. Of course, they were good to us because they gave us some audio recordings, but they had such a heavy South African accent of the Xhosa language, so you would not really get it. Like, I remember one of our very top distributors, Charlie Bolton. I could rewind his tapes. I think it took me 10 times of rewinding for me to even just get a sentence. And so it was difficult. So today you're very privileged that we are proof enough. There's proof that these products work and the business works. So you will fail because you want to or you quit. I tell people there are only 2 failures in your life: those who don't start and those who quit. So if you're none of those 2, just should be sure that you're on your journey to success. And so these cleaning products are very unique. In fact, if anything, I've always told people that if you understand our cleaning products, I want to tell you, you'll not have a problem with the rest. Because the cleaning products are very special and a demo is easy to do and they give you instant results. It's not the kind of thing you do a demo and somebody says, I think it is not working, because you can see it with your eyes and feel it. So cleaning products, very unique. The other thing I love the cleaning products is because I want to tell you, after traveling around the world with Neolife and also on a personal level, there are no products of cleaning like Neolife. So actually, as far as cleaning products are concerned, we are on top of the range in the whole world. We have no competition. In fact, I must say Neolife is the competition. That 64 years down the line, we do not have even anybody. Number 2 is so far That 64 years down the line, imagine there's no number 2. I don't know how long it's going to take them. Probably, I don't think they'll ever catch up. So our cleaning products are on another level. And I just want to say that there are some features about our cleaning products, and those are the 4 products I'm going to cover. Just some few features about our cleaning products. You know, sometimes people say that you need to convince. You don't need to convince anybody. Give them the information and let them take it or leave it. Because if you convince somebody to use something, then you've got to convince them to buy and all the rest. Just give them the information. If they find it valuable, they're going to take it. And if they don't, I always tell people it is okay not to take it. You're entitled to your opinion. And it's okay, you can actually die in peace if you don't use these products. So our cleaning products have got 5 features. Number 1 is that they are highly concentrated. So you have to dilute our products. You have to add water.
Margaret, are you sharing? Are you sharing the screen?
Yes. Are you not seeing it?
No.
Oh, you're not seeing my screen. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me see. Let me go back and see. Are you okay? Are you seeing it now, Karaoke?
Not yet.
Let me just see what it is. Well, let me see. I wonder what it is because I actually thought I was sharing. Just give me 1 minute. I see what it is because I thought I went into sharing. Is that you don't actually need to justify them. We say our cleaning products, you just need to qualify them. You just say the features and the benefits. So one of the things about our cleaning products is that they are highly concentrated. So you're going to discover as you go along that you actually buy water from the supermarket, which you pay for in terms of cleaning products. And you've also got water in your tap, which you also pay. It's like you pay a double bill. So the New Life products are done in such a way you're going to dilute them on a need basis and you're going to dilute them yourself. So you're going to realize that because of how concentrated they are, that the cleaning products in the supermarket are actually just a joke. Number 2 about our products is that they're economical. Because of the concentration, you use very little goes a long way. So you can actually save up to 60% of your cleaning budget. We are saying if you were going to spend 10,000 on cleaning products, with New Life products, you're actually going to spend only 4,000. And that is quite a saving. Because if you save money, you've actually made money. The other thing about our cleaning products is that they're versatile or multi-purpose. One product can replace many products. And that means you not only save cupboard space, but you also save yourself a lot of money. So you find that you don't have to have a soap for the floor, a soap for bathing, a soap for dishes. You can actually have one soap that does all. The other thing about our products is that they work. They are so effective in the work, and we are so sure of the work that we give you 100% money back guarantee. That if you use these products the way you should and they don't work, you can actually return them. And I've got news for you. 25 years down the line, I have never returned any New Life product that did not work. And then finally, about our cleaning products, they are biodegradable or natural. They work with the environment. So you don't have to be worried that if a child took any of our cleaning products that they're actually going to, anything is going to happen. You know, if you think of the cleaning products that we have in the market, they're so toxic, so chemical, that if a child took, I'm telling you, if you heard about it, you would even collapse before they went anywhere, because they will corrode from the mouth all the way up to the intestine. Actually, they will not even get to the end of the intestine. The child will already be gone. So with that fact that they are safe, that they are biodegradable, which means they turn back to nature, that our cleaning products are done in such a way that when they mix with dirt, do you know they become manure? And that is just so amazing. So those are the 5 features about our cleaning products that I think as you pass them on to people, even for your own good, you need to know. Now, I just want to cover the 4 basic ones because those are the products that you should make sure that each and every one of us has them. And one of the things I want to tell you is that if you come across anybody who's got weight, actually the first place to start is not even the supplements. It's actually on the cleaning products. And as I go along, I'm going to explain. The cleaning products in the market are so toxic that somebody has said that our homes are more dangerous than the environment. So we've got a chemist of detergents in our houses. I just want to ask this question for those of us who are mothers or who have experience with young children. I don't know how a child of 2 or 1 month-year-old gets pneumonia. They're in the house, they've never left, but they're sick. Where do they get it from? It has to do with the cleaning products that we use that have got a lot of chemicals and toxins. And each fragrance that you get of a chemical cleaning product, that is toxic to you. A research that was done in South Africa about 20 years now, 25 thereabout, they proved that housewives are more likely to get cancer than a working woman because you spend your whole time just cleaning with all those detergents. And each one of them, like I said, the fragrance is actually a culprit because the more the fragrance is, as you're using them, you're also inhaling them. And just to tell you how dangerous it can be if you're using certain things, I got a story of a man who was mixing some paint in a certain place in Kenya, and it mixed this paint for about 25 years. And one day this guy got so exhausted, and what he did is leaned on a wall. And then he sweated. Do you know the guy sweated out the color of the paint that was blue? That is just one thing. And so you can imagine maybe with the cleaning products that we have, since you were a child, maybe that's what you have used from the market. And so I want to tell you that you're in a very good space, those of us who are distributors, that we've got products that are safe, that are economical. And the other thing that our products do, they make your work easier and faster. And they just do such a fine, fine job. One of the things I don't understand, especially when it comes to the cleaning products, I don't understand how you can put something like a bathtub or a sink that is worth thousands of money, and you want to use sense to actually maintain that. You know, you buy a bathtub about 200,000, then you want to use something of less than 100 shillings to maintain. There is even no logic. I don't even know what percentage that is. So we are just saying that if you decide to use quality all the way. And then, of course, the packaging is amazing. When you see those products, you just want to have them and hold them. They just look neat and nice. Let me start off with Super 10. And Super 10 was the one product that I started off with because, like I said, our pack had all the three ranges. And so the pack had Super 10 and LDC. And one of the things I remember about Super 10, when it came, because I had no mentor, my upline was about, I think, a week old when I joined. And so she didn't know anything. So one day she comes and finds me putting Super 10 in the sprayer and I'm adding water. She says, no, you should not add water. Then I'm asking her, so Tina, what should I do? And she says, well, it's written 1 to 3, you just put there 1 to 3 and spray. When it's written 1 to 10, you put at the mark on the 1 to 10 and spray. But I said, then there's no difference. It is still concentrated. So for me, I read and understood. And I of 1 to 10. And I had an old place, when we started off, of course, you start off very simple. And so we had a place where we were using a stove, kerosene. And that room had white walls, but they were also black because there was no chimney to remove the soot. So I remember reading about Super 10. And what was amazing, I remember just spraying the wall. And what I saw, I just saw the black soot just sliding down the wall. And I'm telling you, I was so excited. So it's the kind of product you spray and wipe. You know, there's some products I say you spray and pray because you're not sure if they're going to work. This one, I just sprayed and wiped, and I remember sleeping at 2 a.m. because I was just so excited. I'd never seen anything like that. So Super 10, you can actually make up to 20 liters of ready-to-use product, depending on what it is that you're doing. Now, one of the things, if you do buy Super 10 or use Super 10, then you must get yourself the hand sprayer bottle. Because if you don't, there's a way Super 10 needs to hit the dirt so that it can be able to work well. Because just diluting it on its own on any other bottle may not work. So you need the hand spray and bottle. And I know sometimes those of us who are distributors say it's a whole 550, but I want to tell you that sprayer can stay even 3 years. Actually, that particular spray is done in Italy, and so it is a quality thing. It's a plastic, but it's very quality, and it will last a long time. So one of the things about that Super 10 facility, that 1 liter you can actually dilute and make 20 liters, the company being environmental sensitive, they don't want to keep on throwing a can out. They're saying, instead of us throwing 20 bottles of plastic to the environment, let's also save the environment and throw out only 1 bottle compared to actually throwing out 20 bottles. So there is a level on the sprayer bottle, just where it begins to take shape. That level is called 1 to 20. And I know that most of us only know between 1 to 3 and 1 to 20. And you dilute according to need. So the first time you use Super 10, if you have never used it, you need to dilute at 1 to 10. What that basically needs, even if you decided to use a cup, to take your Super 10 and put it in a cup, it means for that cup that you take, add 10 times water, the quantity of water for that cup. So Super 10, you can use it for a number of things. And I do know of a town in South Africa called East London. That whole area has no supermarket that sells any cleaning product because Charlie Bolton, who happens to be our upline and the most successful distributor in the world. Him and his team have sold these cleaning products until there's no supermarket that can sell a cleaning products because nobody will buy. And you can imagine a whole town, people have got different economic incomes, and they have proved to them that even a lowest person can actually use our product. So Super 10 can do a number of things. The biggest thing is a stain remover. And if you go to laundry shops, they've got a stain remover for every stain. For grease, they've got one for grease. For tea, they've got one for tea. For coffee, one for coffee. For lipstick, another one for lipstick. So all those two detergents, they've actually got a chemist of detergents, of stain removers. So can you imagine us, they only put that one bottle Super 10. So it's a super stain remover. And so it can be used in a number of places, from laundry to people who do art, to people who do painting. Because sometimes people paint and their paint falls on the floor. Imagine you can use Super 10. Super 10 will be used anywhere where water goes. So things like the cooker, the fridge, the oven, the tiles, the bathroom tiles, the ceramic tiles, terrazzo tiles. So actually you can clean with Super 10 any floor except a wooden floor. A wooden floor, you only clean it with Super 10 the first time that you're using it. Because so, like I said, if you have never used Super 10 in your house, you need to use it at 1 to 10. And I want you to go and do an experiment, whether you're a guest or a distributor. I want you to go and buy the soap you have been using from the shop and clean your house. And then come and clean with Super 10. Do you know what's amazing? That will actually come out. So I don't know what you've been paying at the supermarket for, because that product, though it is a form of soap, it is not soap, because it doesn't do a very good job. So Super 10 will do that anywhere where water goes. So things like fridge, cooker, oven, bathtub, sinks, toilets, they will maintain the original color. The other big deal that Super 10 does, it cleans cuffs and collars. But for cuffs and collars, we usually mix it with a bit of LDC. I think one of the days, maybe when we have an in-person training, I'd really like to show people they clean the collar of the shirt, because most of us do not seem to understand. And then it is very good for any petroleum-based dirt. So places like petrol stations, mechanics, they can use our product. It even cleans a car engine perfectly well. In fact, it cleans a car engine so well. The only thing with a car engine is that you need to know the electrical parts, which after you warm the engine for about 5-10 minutes, after which you switch off, cover all the electrical parts, and then spray Super 10 at 1 to 3 and leave it for about 10 minutes, and just use a hosepipe or even a cloth. All that grease will just go down. And you know what is so amazing? The place where usually you park your car, if it has got a leakage, it leaves a dirt there of oil. Imagine when you've got Super 10, that does not need to be there. So that is just what is so good about Super 10. And then it's got a good fragrance. You can use it as an air freshener. It's a mosquito repellent. If you use Super 10 around, you cannot get cockroaches around the house. So you can imagine all those things, and above all, of course, it being a stain remover. So you know what? I buy 3 bottles of Super 10 in a year. 3 bottles, 3 1 liters in a whole year. 3 1 liters is what I use. So you can actually make a yearly budget for your cleaning products. So Super 10 is just a wow product. I can talk and talk about these products. I don't know. Anyway, you just want to do general dusting, just spray Super 10 and wipe. And I like to use a demo board or a carpet board to demonstrate, because one time we used to use even a seat, or you use somebody's item. And there's one client who went to demonstrate on their seat, and they just said we were just wanting to show them how dirty their seat was. So why you use a demo board is because you want to be able to show them from the board that it actually works. And then sometimes when you go and show people it can remove stains, they'll take you around the whole house and saying, I also have a stain here, I also have a stain here, can I bring clothes? The other thing about it removing a stain, it will remove a stain as long as you have never used any other detergent to try and remove that stain. Because some people try and challenge you and bring a stain that is 10 years old, but if they use any other product to try and clean that stain, it already becomes part and parcel of the garment, so it cannot get out. So it has to be a stain they have never used anything, including water, that you can actually spray it, and Super 10 will work. So Super 10 is available in 25 liters, 5 liters, and 1 liter. So that is Super 10 for you. Then we've got LDC. LDC is light duty cleaner. And amazingly, LDC, you can actually make up to 10 liters ready to use soap, depending again on what you're using it. For example, if you're using LDC for hand wash, you can actually make the 10 liters. Because you're going to get amazed that LDC only needs just a slight color change and it works. So LDC is amazing because it replaces 7 other cleaning products in your house. You can use LDC to shampoo your hair, especially these people who get dandruff. Though we've got a hair shampoo, Just in case it's only LDC you have, you can actually shampoo your hair very well. But if you use it for hair shampoo, then you need to put it at the level we call 1 to 3, and it will do a good job. You can use it to remove makeup for those of us who use makeup. You can use it to shave, especially those men who get a reaction from shaving, and they usually have pimples all over their chin and it looks so rough and they're itching. LDC works very, very well because it totally shaves out the hair. Because the other shaving foam that are there, they shave but leave a small shaft of the hair. So that hair that is left is the one that turns back and pricks the skin and gives a reaction. So with LDC, it totally shaves off the hair and leaves nothing. You can use LDC to actually shine rings. You know, rings, when they're polished somewhere on Biashara Street, rings are polished at about 500 shillings. Imagine a diluted LDC, even 1 to 10. Leave your gold ring there overnight, it will be polished. LDC can be used to clean fruits and vegetables. Excellent cleaning on fruits and vegetables. It will unblock drainages because you can use it to clean oily dishes without hot water. So you don't need to get a water bill. You don't need to get an electricity bill. You can actually use LDC without heating hot water. LDC can be used to bathe. In fact, for bathing, excellent. And when you bathe with LDC, you cannot slide and fall in the bathtub. You know, one of the things about bathtubs, and now people are beginning to change from bathtubs, is because you need a mat so that you don't slide and fall, because there's a portion of the ordinary soaps that do not mix with water, and that residue of ordinary soap is what makes it very, very slidey. So imagine if you've got LDC, you don't even need a mat. It keeps you firm and solid on the floor if it is a bathtub. It also works as vim on the floor. So as it cleans, it's also cleaning the floor. You can also use it as Harpic in the toilet, then to clean your hands. Once a week, you can use LDC to clean your teeth, especially those of us who get the tartar, the one you have to go to the dentist to scrub off. Because one of the things is that when you go to the dentist to scrub off, the teeth become very, very sensitive. Imagine you can just use LDC to do that. So you can see all those things. And then those of us who drive, a squirt of LDC in the water for the windscreen, it will make sure it cleans the windscreen so well. Like the rainy days, it doesn't leave any form of water on the windscreen, so you're able to drive very, very safely. So can you imagine all those things with one product? So you can actually save. Again, LDC available in 25 liters, 5 and 1 liter. Then we've got our amazing product called G1 Laundry. And I never forget the day I went for training, because when we did in-person training, every week we would cover about 2 or 3 products. And I remember the lady who explained G1, and we used to have a smaller size when we started, it was 750 grams. And I remember Emmy explaining the products. And at the end of the presentation, I said, no, I must talk to her because I thought she lied. Because imagine G1, you soak your clothes best overnight, and then you can rinse in the morning twice. And they are clean and no rubbing. Me, I thought she was joking because I only knew the only thing that I don't rub with is actually a washing machine. And so when she said that you don't rub the LDC, I thought this Emmy, maybe she's talking about about the G1, that she's talking about something else. And it will actually be a problem. And so for me, after the presentation, I went to her and I said, Emmy, are you sure that this thing works the way you said it did? And she said, yes, she was sure. Guess what? I'm very experimental. I actually bought the G1, and you actually soak and rinse in the morning. And I know on the pack, they say that 1 scoop, you should use 2 scoops to wash 5 kilos. Actually, you can comfortably use 1 scoop to wash 5 kilos because it is so concentrated and so effective. The thing to note about G1 that disturbs people is that it has no foam. And I know people are used to things with foam. Foam actually is a chemical. I just want you to do an experiment for those of us who believe in foam. Take foam and apply it on your cloth and see if it cleans. It will not clean. It is the ingredient or the constituent that is in the product that works. So when you put G1, even when you mix it in water, the water becomes a little bit slidey. And so you can be sure it works. So the best way is to soak overnight and then rinse in the morning twice and hang. And why you rinse twice is because it's not having foam, you also need a very little water. So it will save even water bills. Sometimes there are areas without water. Imagine even if you don't have water, you can still use our G1. And then the other very amazing bit. So the 2 kilo G1 has got about 588 scoops of ready to use, 588 of 5 kilos. So if you are to wash 5 kilos every day, you'll actually stay with G1 Laundry 2 kilos for 4.5 months. So those people with newborn babies who are washing every day, 4.5 months, you've got a product that you can use. One of the key selling points for G1, especially for the machine, because it is the only soap in the world that does hand wash and machine. We don't have anything like that. For machine is for machine, for hand wash is for hand wash. But our G1 does the two. So for machine, the selling point is that it cleans the metal parts. because all the other soaps that are found in the market, they leave what we call residue or scum. And I remember when I never had a washing machine, and I told you, for me, if I have to get something, I'm going to get it. There's a small shop on Jaquat Towers down there, Kitchen Pride, that sells washing machines. And I would go and ask them, so I'm looking for a machine. So how does this one of yours work? I'm not telling them I don't have one. I'm saying, so show me how yours work, or I'll go to a friend. And when I sell them the G1, I've already told them all the good things about G1. And though I don't have a machine, I'm saying it will clean the machine parts. You need very little. So I tell them, machines work differently. I'd already found out that they work different. So I say, so you show me how yours works. Little did they know that I actually do not know anything about a machine. I'm actually using their machine to learn. So if you want to learn, you'll learn. And I want to tell you how serious the bit of it not leaving residue or scum. The residue or scum in the ordinary soaps make the metal parts of the machine rust. So with time, they have to clean up the machine or service the machine. And servicing the machine could be as much as 4,000, which is actually the cost of G1 if you're a distributor. In fact, it's less. So you actually save a lot of money. And like I said, I'm very experimental, and I would like you to do an experiment. Just take a nail, one of them put in the ordinary soap that you buy from the supermarket, put it in a container that can stay maybe even a year, and just put a mushumari in there in that korogad, whatever chemical you use from the shops, and then take another one and put G1 and put a nail there. Do you know, a whole year down the line, the nail that is in G1 will never change color. You'll remove it as good as new. This other one you put in the other container, within 2 months, it's already rusted. So that is the effect of metal on the products that we use from the shop. Now, on that point of laundry soap, I did say that if you've got weight, the first thing to do is actually change the laundry soap. I don't know if after cleaning clothes, you've seen what happens. After the cloth has dried on the line, if you shake the cloth a bit, it removes some particles. Those particles are undissolved soap. The same ones that are left in the machine metal parts that we call residue. Now, if you wear that garment and it is hot, guess what? Those particles start penetrating your skin slowly. And in about 10, 15 years, for the ladies, you get fibroids, you get growths, you get cysts, and you get hormonal imbalance. And hormonal imbalance for ladies is very simple because you get an irregular cycle, you're very moody during your cycle, you've got PMS, you're irritable, you get bloating, sensitive breasts, and with an irregular cycle as a lady, you cannot conceive. For the men, they also got hormonal imbalance, but for the men one is amazing. They get female features. I don't know if you have seen men who look like they've got a bust. They even look like they've got a backside, such that if they wore a straight outfit, you don't know whether they are men and women. And then, of course, they get the pot. And you know what I tell men? They should never have a pot, because I make a joke and I say, if you've got this whole big stomach, if you are using a shower to bathe, you know there are some parts of your body that cannot bathe, because the shower hits that pot and spreads all over. So there's some parts of your body that will never really quite get to bathe. All I am saying is that cleaning products are very key. And just to wind up, I just want to talk about Care, which is a very powerful disinfectant. In fact, during COVID, that product went out of stock because some people, even in the government, got to know about it. Now, people are used to a sanitizer. Sanitizer is specific to a certain germ, but a disinfectant is all across the board germs. So what is so good about Care? 1 liter, you actually dilute into 50 liters. That is a lot of ready-to-use product. Or in other words, 20 ml and add a liter of water. 20 ml, add a liter of water, and that becomes the usual disinfectant. And what is so good about Care is that it's a natural disinfectant, so it's not going to harm you. I don't know whether when you get a cut or a burn and you use the normal disinfectants that are in the shops, what happens? They actually burn you. They burn the wound, they burn the cut. With Care, that doesn't happen. So it's very good for cleaning wounds. In fact, when you clean wounds, it starts healing. I had a testimony of a lady who got a very bad motorbike accident, and all was recommended was Care. Do you know, in 2-3 weeks, that wound totally healed with Care only, without even the supplements. So it already starts healing you. Okay. Then what we are saying is that Care is wonderful. You can also use Care to disinfect. Sometimes you travel and you go to places where the water you are not sure of. You can just put Kidogo Care. But most of the time we don't talk about it, because if you put Care and it tastes, then it's not good for you. But the fact that it kills bacteria, in the stomach, we've got the good bacteria and the wrong bacteria. So you need to put very little, should not taste. Then a drop of Care in people who milk cows. You know, sometimes the milk is not picked the same day. Do you know a drop of Care in that milk, 20 liters, just a drop will keep that milk an extra day without it going bad. So those people are farmers and they're saying, today my milk was not picked, it will all go bad. Imagine Care does it. So it will disinfect and kill all the germs. So those people with children who have to use baby bottles, for us ladies, we must carry Care in our handbags because we get candida, which is the itching we get down there, because we've got an opening. So when we go to a toilet of somebody who's got an infection, we are definitely going to get it. So Care is one of the products you should have that you can actually disinfect somewhere before you urinate or even use a facility. And so I think I want to stop there for the interest of time, but promise that I'm going to look at my presentation again. I didn't know why it didn't open up, but I want to believe that what I've given you is quality and is good for you. And so those of us who are on the call, if you are not using our cleaning products, you're doing yourself a disservice. In fact, one of the things I'm telling people now, I'm saying that I want to stop giving contribution for people who die. I want to give contribution for life. If somebody is sick, somebody's unwell, they've got maybe a function for education, that I'm going to give money. But for funerals, no, because I want people to live. I'm going to be for life. And then the other thing about these cleaning products, they save you lots of money. Do you know distributors on the call? The higher the value you buy of a cleaning product, the more you save. If you bought 25 liters of LDC, even as a distributor, you actually have 5 liters free. If you buy 5 liters of LDC, you've been given 1 liter free. It's like you've paid for 4 and the 5th one is free. So the higher volume you buy of these cleaning products, the less costly it is for you. You'll be amazed that LDC can cost as little as 1,200 when you buy it as a 25 liters. So just do your math and know that these products save you a lot of money. And if you're not using them for the distributors or even your customers, you're doing them a disservice. And the other thing, as a distributor, if you're not using these products, even the health ones, you're telling us it's okay for your customer to be fine and you can die and we can be burying you and take over your customers because you will not be there to service them. So the cleaning products are the ones, even if I deliver to somebody a ProVitality, even if you buy a ProVitality kit, I must demonstrate for you LDC, because if you understand how the cleaning products work, I don't have to explain how the rest work because the quality is the same and the cleaning products are just instant. You are able to see right there. So when we apply margarine or oil on your hands and we wash off with LDC, even fridge water, cold water that you put ice cubes, will actually remove that fat. So there's not that thing of did it work or did it work? It definitely does work. So I think I want to stop there. Pierre Rose and Karaoke, thank you so much for inviting me. I hope something I've shared has made a difference for you guys. And I want to say that I've used these products for the last 25 years. Our younger daughter, who is now 20, one time we went to visit somebody and they brought the bar soap to wash hands. And my daughter asked, Mommy, is this something to eat? She was 6 years. And my friend said, is your daughter's mind well? And I said, yes, very well. And she said, how come she's asking if a bar soap is something to eat? I said, she has never seen anything like that in our house. So for the last 25 years, do you know I would rather even bathe with Supergrow if I don't have LDC, or even bathe with G1. And I'm telling you things that I've done because I don't want to have any excuse to go back to a shop for anything. So thank you very much, Pierre Rose and Karaoke. It was just a pleasure sharing with you what I had. Thank you very much.